When version 2.4 is not even finished the first half, Kuro Games just dropped another banger announcement, which is Phrolova's drip marketing. And let's take a moment to appreciate the details in this art. Like, what is this? Chef's kiss. And let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something! Let me tell you something!
Besides becoming one of the most anticipated characters in game, I bet a lot of her fans are basically crying right now because how broke we are after the cartwheels banner. But among all this excitement, people start wondering and start to worry about one thing that might affect Wuthering Waves' future, or to be exact, how they will handle future story and future's character, which will be a big L or W for the game. And it is none, but will Phrolova stays as evil villain or she will be a good character after the official release? As one of the main antagonists since the earlier story quest, Phrolova successfully gained a lot of fans because people love villain waifu. The way Kuro successfully made her as a calm, cold and stoic character, which somehow serves as the counterparts of a very expressive Scar, this madman, make her pops even more. With all those drips she got, player now basically wanted to have the exact same character. Evil, cold, part of the bad organization and stuff. But after version 2.4 dropped, the more we play the game, the more we learn that there's a slight possibility Phrolova might not be released as an evil villain like she is right now. Or maybe not even evil at all, which might also will affect Scar or Christopher's future, if they will ever be released as a playable character. Players started to kinda believe this might actually happen because in the new story trailer, what the tides tell us, we can see in Phrolova scenes where it pictures how she once had this many people around her, giving this child a pat on the head, which somehow surprising considering her role in Wuthering Waves story. But then all of them disappeared and turned into the spider lily, which often or usually associated with death, especially in East Asian culture. People are speculating this might be her turning point as she seems to have her own reason for being part of the Fraxidus. And the way she said to continue meeting as foes with Rover is rather uninspired, which kinda implies we won't be on opposing sides for much longer. And might not be related, but on 2.4 trailer, we also got this very short scene where it only shows Scar and Christopher, while 3 of them are actually part of Fraxidus. But again, it might not prove anything though, but who knows? And surprise, surprise!
Surprise, motherfucker!
After this topic started to spread even further around the community, some people actually came up with a reason that is not even related to the in-game story. They basically said Chinese laws don't allow a villain character to be released in-game. At first, I was like, makes sense, can't do anything about it then. Because back then in Genshin Impact, the same thing happened. A character who belonged to the villain group was released as a not so evil version, with plenty of story and backlore to support it, of course. For example, Scaramouche. This tiny little evil got tons of twists and was eventually released as a totally different character with a new design, new name, new objectives, which that alone kinda supports this whole idea. Moreover, we've heard some news about how strict the rules in China about some specific stuff. But as people starting to lose their hope for a stoic cold villain waifu, we got to see where this news actually came from. This was actually posted on X, which said, to those who want Phrolova to remain evil when becoming playable, TLDR, China doesn't allow it. In the screenshot, it basically tells how the rules and stuff applied in China, but for some reason, people are starting to clown on this post as this info was actually taken from Grok, the AI, which some people believe it only gives a surface level of information. Because if you take a look at other games like Arknight for example, Arknight players, you can please bless us with your knowledge now. And to make it easier to understand, and for a better comprehension, take a look at Kuro's other game, Punishing Grey Raven. There's so many things we can say about this game, which can prove this speculation might be wrong. The villain in this game, personally, they can still be considered as evil. Like, for example, Luna. If I'm not mistaken, on her debut chapter, she was trying to commit a genocide, or this son of a, yeah. And also Lilith, a character that just got released like last month if I'm not mistaken. And if you know this character, this is nothing but evil, like an evil, you know. Well, to be very clear, which also stated in the AI analysis, they need to have like a redemption arc kind of thing to be able to pass through the Chinese regulation. But as we can see, some of them does have that thing, but some of them, I don't think so. A lot of characters in Punishing Grey Raven or other Chinese games are more to morally gray area, I would say, which totally fine. Moreover, in this case, Phrolova will be the first official villain that get a playable status in Wuthering Waves. This is a make or break event for Wuthering Waves, I guess. And I think people are not asking Phrolova to be an evil villain, like evil, but more to people doesn't want her to be a character that literally throws everything we've discovered in the past year out of the window. Because if she worked under the Fraxidus for all the crimes she's done, other people in the group might get the same treatment, no? Imagine, in the future, Scar got released, and due to all the regulation, he lose all the evilness in him. What's left? And as for the Christopher, I kinda doubt he will be playable though. Well, some people assume he will be playable after Wuthering Waves Japan account posted his poster with a 5-star logo on it, but as soon as they realize it, they delete that post and put a new one without the 5-star. Well, this might be just an error from their part, because Yuno's poster was also having a similar error, which actually shows the wrong name. This one said Phrolova. But then again, I've never seen NPC announced like this, so there's a 50-50 chance he will be a playable character or not. So yeah, the conclusion is, for me, all that goes back to one thing. Again, Phrolova's release might be a make or break event for Wuthering Waves. It might be true that Chinese regulation don't allow an evil villain character to be playable, as they want the game to promote a correct values. But looking at other live service game, especially game that literally made by Kuro Games, I don't think this Phrolova will not be evil thing will be an issue. She might be a better character in game due to the story or backstory, I don't know. But I personally really hope at least she will be a morally grey character if she cannot stay as evil characters. So I think that's all for this topic from me. What do you think? Do you prefer Phrolova stays evil or not? Let us know in the comment section. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.